Welcome again to another CPAASAA Talks. I'm Kevin Nethercott, the managing partner here at the CPAAS Acceleration Alliance. And today we have one of our newest members that has recently joined us here at CPAASAA, Jim Dalton from TransNexus. Welcome.
Thank you, Kevin. It's good to be here.
It's great to have you as part of the Alliance. You and I go way back. I think we were at the first Vaughn show in the mid 90s. And so it's fun to kind of partner up in this environment and work together and see how we can educate the industry and the market out there about the wonderful things you're doing over at TransNexus.
Well, Kevin, that's it's great to tell our story. Thank you for this. We've been doing the same thing since we met way back at the very first Vaughn conference. It's really to help service providers, voice over IP service providers, manage their networks. And we sell software that complements a soft switch, session border controllers with applications that really need to be offboarded, least cost routing, shaken, robocall mitigation, toll fraud detection, things like that that you just can't do in a soft switch, but are really so critical, for running a voice operation. And that's our focus.
Yeah, well, I think that's key. I mean, we talk about customer experience and different things all the time, but there's so many key components in the back end that enable all of this that are critical to run the business and do it securely. And at the end, it all kind of bubbles up to that customer experience. So how do you play in the ecosystem? How does what you're doing affect the actual customer experience out there?
Well, it is about the customer experience. And today that's more important than ever, especially with robocalls. So trying to prevent robocalls, or relabel them to indicate that maybe a call you don't want to take or divert it to voicemail. All these kind of call treatment actions mean a lot to the end user, so they get the calls when they want them, where they want them, if they want them. And, it brings up a really interesting a whole new set of features, Kevin. I wanted to tell you about that we're going to be talking about at Enterprise Connect. We serve service providers and they serve enterprise customers. And we hear this request all the time. My calls are being mislabeled as spam. And this is coming from our service provider customers that are coming to us, hearing this from their customers. How can we fix this? Calls mislabeled as spam. And how do we increase call completion? And branded calling is really the new way to get that done in the industry. And we play a role in that for our customers to help make that happen, to make sure that the branded calling is enabled and it's protected from spoofing. We prevent the spoofing of branded calls. And so that's kind of the key part of what we do for our customers. And talk about, the customer experience. Really, that's the story I think people are really interested to hear about is, for example, I tell you a story. We had a customer who came to us. He's got a large Fortune 500 company. They've got thousands of storefronts across the country, and they sell tires and they change mufflers and brakes and everything like that. And so, a customer comes in, they get the car up on the rack, and they need something else besides tires. Well, they need to call that customer who's left, gone for the day, and expecting a call when their call's ready. They call and no answer. That call's up on the rack. It's just sitting there. And this, for this company, to complete a telephone call is really important for them. And they will pay for it if they can get that call completion, get that car, down off the rack and get another one into the bay. I mean, that has a huge business case for them. And that's just one example. There's so many more that we hear about constantly. People have a truck roll, whether it's a pest control or whatever it might be, a delivery system. They pass a house because nobody will answer the phone. They don't think there's a reason to stop there. And they could have. And so, in so many small business cases, as well as big enterprises, the potential of branded calling to really provide a great ROI for service providers to really give that benefit to their enterprise customers. It's going to be a big innovation for telecom when it really starts to happen. So anyway, that's one thing that we're excited about to tell people about at Enterprise Connect and what the potential is there for branded calling.
No, that makes total sense. I mean, I just look at my wife, and if it's not one of her contacts, she does not answer the phone. So if our car was up on the rack it would still be up on the rack. So I think that this is clearly a value added service, and it's awesome how that fits into that customer experience, even though it's kind of behind the firewall, so to speak, inside the network, and how you're able to do that. So that's really cool. With that, I mean, as you approach, Enterprise Connect, we're going to be in Orlando together next week. What types of partners or customers? What is it that who are you hoping to meet with and spend time with in Orlando next week?
Well, certainly enterprises, we can help them and introduce them to our service provider customers if they're looking for branded calling, because it's really the service provider that makes it happen. But so it's going to be enterprises. We do have enterprise solutions, and working with our service provider partners can provide that branded calling solution. So it's Enterprise Connect. We're going to be talking to enterprises, hearing about what they want, and we're going to be, introducing those enterprises to our service provider customers.
Excellent, excellent. So as we've discussed, I think there's clearly so many use cases around this branded calling. Um, Excited to be in Orlando together. We've had snow here in Utah just in the last week, and so looking forward to some warm Orlando weather. Are you going to drive or fly there from Atlanta?
It's a long way. I'll be flying.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Well, we sure look forward to spending some time together in the CPAASAA Innovation Pavilion. You'll find us there right in the main section of the Enterprise Connect Expo floor. We'll have some drinks and food at the booth as well. So whoever sees this and would like to learn more about branded calling and get to know Jim and the team there at TransNexus, we invite you to come over and take a look. We appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us, Jim, and we'll see you next week.
Great. Thanks, Kevin.
You betcha.